Hello everyone. Today I will demonstrate an idle game called microcow. Microcow is a smart contract-based idle game that using Linera blockchain with its microchains architecture. In this game, we can buy, sell, and feed cows just like we do on a farm. The more diligent you feed the cow, the more the price will rise. You can find out about Linera and its microchains architecture on linera.io. Before we play the game, there are two things that we need: chain ID and application ID. And to get application ID, we need to create and publish the microcow contract to our chain. First of all, we need to clone the microcow Linera repository. I put the link in the video description below. After cloning, make sure we are now inside the directory that contains cargo.toml file. Using the Linera wallet show command, please take note of the default chain ID that you will use to deploy the application. You can find the command to deploy microcow contract in the readme file on the repository. Just make sure the chain ID in the command parameter is the same with default chain ID in Linera wallet show. Now use this command to deploy microcow contract to our default chain. After deployment success, you will receive the application ID. You will need this to play the game. Now let's start the Linera service and start playing the game. Let's open microcow website at microcow.hasto.dev. And then we go to wallet setting first to set up our wallet. As I said earlier, we need chain ID and application ID to play the game. Enter the chain ID that deploy the microcow contract to root chain ID fields, and then enter the application ID that we received after deployment to application ID fields. The next step is to enter the GraphQL service address, which is the address that was shown to us after running command Linera service. Usually the address is localhost 8080, but instead of that we should use address in the form of 127.0.0.1 with port 8080. In my case, the address is 192.168.1.9 with port 8080. Then we click check. If the GraphQL service address is served with HTTP protocol, the check will fail because the browser setting is blocking the connection. Because of this situation, we need to allow insecure content in our browser setting. Let's open that setting and allow it. After that, we need to reload our page so that the new setting can work. If the address you input is correct, after you click check, it will show you the list of chain ID in your wallet. Choose one of them as the player chain ID. But remember not to choose the same chain ID with the root because microcow contract will reject them. Now let's click confirm and go to login page. On this page, you can just click login button and confirm the chain ID that you will use. Because this is the first time we play game with this chain ID, it will take a while to log in, maybe around 30 to 40 seconds. This because the game will need to request the application to the root chain ID and initialize the account for the first time. For each new account, you will receive 10,000 Linera token that you can use to buy the cow. After initialization succeeded, you will arrive at the farm page and you can see your chain ID and Linera balance at the top. In here, you don't see any cow because you don't have one yet. Now let's go to the market page and buy some cows. Right here, there are 6 breed of cow that we can buy. Every time we buy a cow, we need to give it a name. And each name in the microcow contract is unique. We can't have 2 or more cows with the same name, and the contract will prevent that. Now let's try to buy a cow. We have successfully bought a cow, and now we can see the stats of that cow, such as name, breed, age, gender, and hunger meter. Our next task is to feed the cow. We can start feeding the cow after the hunger meter no longer says full. Usually after 6 hours since we bought the cow, or since the last time it was fed. Then we can also start selling the cow after they reach 3 days of age. For the sake of this demo, the time limit for feeding and selling the cow has been accelerated. Now several hours have passed and the cow is getting hungry. We can start feeding them. But hey, now we see some dead cows on our farm. What will happen if we try to feed them? The contract will reject the feed and erase the cow from our farm. The same thing will happen if we try to sell dead cow. Now, if we try to sell our cow, the contract will tell us how much of cow is worth. If we agree on the price, then we can sell the cow and our balance will increase. Now let's try to buy another cow with the same name using a different chain. You will see that the smart contract will reject our request because the name Mars already exists and belongs to a certain chain. Here, we can see that a cow named Haneda has died. Let's go to another chain and try to buy a cow with the same name. We can see that we can buy a cow with the same name because Haneda already died in another chain. But what happens with the original Haneda? Let's go back and see it. And here, we can see that there is no more Haneda in this chain. It's because the root chain notifies this chain that Haneda is alive somewhere else, so this particular chain removes Haneda from the farm. The topic regarding the game mechanism is completely explained in the microchains Linera repository. I have put the link in the description below. Another thing that I'm excited about is the auction feature. This coming soon feature will allow players to interact with each other in a cow bidding war. Thus, a brief demo of microchains smart contract with Linera blockchain. The Linera blockchain is still in the DevNet phase right now, but it's already very powerful with their microchain architecture. Thank you for watching and see you again in another video.